How's everybody doing? This is Ruben once again with Philosophy. I want to thank you for watching this video. If you liked any of my past videos, please subscribe to the channel, like or comment on the video. I would greatly appreciate it. What I wanted to talk about today is a very profound, life-changing, world-changing type of therapy that I discovered years ago. I've talked about this specific therapy in other past videos, but I have so many videos. Who has the time to just look at them, right? Anybody who's destined for it, or really needs the help will definitely have found it. But if you're new to the channel or so forth, this video is about that. I'll try to make it as short as possible, so I'm not going to go ahead and sugarcoat anything. I'm just going to give it to you as it is, so you can take advantage of it today, apply it today, feel relief today, especially in these times where we're facing a lot of fear. Fear has been proven scientifically. If they put a little piece of cotton in your mouth, and they tell you to start thinking about that fear, whichever fear you may have, they take that cotton ball out, they test it. It shows that there's chemicals there that basically are unhealthy for you. I don't have the time to go over all that scientific research. If you're interested, go and look at it. It's there. Whenever you feel fear, or any negative emotion at that, fear, trauma, phobia, a breakup, a loss, whether it's your job, a friend, family member, you have a fear for whatever reason of driving, you have trauma, PTSD, and so forth. Absolutely, go to your doctor and get their opinion. All right, but this is something that you can add on and heal yourself. I'm not gonna say the word cure. I'm gonna say you can heal yourself. It's a spiritual technology, if you want to say that, but it's very, very specific. It was discovered by an actual psychologist that used to treat patients in Beverly Hills. For years, he would try countless amounts of things on his patients. Everything he's learned through his, university, college, everything they taught him about psychology, he would apply it. And yes, it has some form of help, and it did relieve their patients. But he never took the problem away, is what he would notice. So he would have patients on these countless of drugs and countless of therapies. And in other words, that could have been them for the rest of their lives, or if not for a very long time. Not saying that it doesn't work. Definitely, if you have mental health issues and everything, also see your psychologist, psychiatrist, so forth. Okay. And I'm sorry, Dr. Rodger Callahan, I believe was a psychiatrist, which is the guy who discovered this therapy I'm about to show you. So he went ahead and had a specific patient. And this specific patient had a huge phobia, tremendous phobia of water, of large, big bodies of water, like a pool, like a beach, the sea, or so forth, right? Taking the shower is the most. She would never take baths because of the amount of water, so taking the shower was all she would do. She just had this phobia of water. She couldn't get close to big bodies of water. She might faint. She felt very bad. Obviously, this is not a rational thought. This is not a rational feeling you should have, because there's nothing that the big amount of body of water can do, especially if you learn how to swim, right? So he's been treating this specific patient for years, and in that amount of time, I lost count on the amount of time. I think it was maybe 2 years or so forth. He's been working with her. The most that he has gotten her, as far as alleviated from this phobia or trauma, is she was able to go ahead and sit next to a pool. That's the most they've gotten. This is after cognitive therapy, hypnosis. They threw the whole book at her, right? So this is how much they have gotten. It's it's an upgrade at least, right? Well, Rodger Callahan, before then, took a specific class on acupuncture, and they taught him that there's certain what they call meridians or points in the human body that are like channels, right? There are like channels, and these channels have the capability of trapping emotion. So these classes had the option to go ahead and teach you about these points in the body that are like channels. And what they were advising him is that if anybody ever has like a negative emotion, a phobia, trauma, and it doesn't go away, right, in a certain amount of time, like there's grief, right? If you lose someone, there's grief. It's stupid for anyone to tell you to don't feel sad, right? But if that persists and it takes over your life, where it's going against your functionalities of what you need to do every day, then it's a problem. So they taught him that if this is an issue, is because those meridians, those certain points in the body that has these channels or meridians, have a block. And how these specific points in the body are connected to specific emotional channels, in other words. For example, they taught him that under the ear, right here, this is connected to your solar plexus. So if you ever feel a fear or something in your solar plexus, this this pinpoint right here has a connection to it. Okay. They also taught him, certain other points under the chin had a specific channel, under the nose, and so forth. So he's with this patient that has a huge phobia of water, and just out of coincidence, he remembers this specific class, right, that he took. So he asked her, "Hey, how's your fear right now? Like, looking at this big body of water, And she said, "Oh, it's very bad. On a scale from 1 to 10, like a 10. Okay. Think about that fear, and just start tapping, just with your fingers. You have to do it very hard. Start tapping underneath that eye. Right here. Start tapping. So she starts tapping, and then he mentions this in interviews about this story, and in his books, and he said that the lady's face expression changed, like if magical, like he's never seen anything like this. It changed. He mentions that she got up off the chair and screaming, "It's gone, it's gone, it's gone," and then started running towards the pool. So Rodger Callahan sees this, and he gets scared and calls her out, "Hey, stop! You don't know how to swim," because he thought that she was going to jump in the pool. Obviously, she said it's gone. And then she stops and turns around and tells Rodger Callahan, "I'm not going to jump. I know I can't swim. But the fear is gone. I don't have this fear." Well, apparently this point right here is connected to your solar plexus. So he would notice that every time she would have this fear, she would always touch her stomach. And a lot of people with certain fears, whenever they have that it comes up at a high level, they always touch your stomach. Well, that's because it's connected to the solar plexus. This is like the main point of fear, right? So he's been discovering this. He has passed away. He passed away maybe like 2 years ago, but he was a very elder man. But when he discovered this, he helped countless amounts of people that would put their entire reputation on it, that this stuff is life changing. It's a breakthrough in mental health. Now, again, I'm not saying to do this and then if you're seeing like a psychiatrist or psychologist, stop. No, always, you know, go towards that. This is a therapy that you don't have to ingest anything. It doesn't have no side effects. It works instantly. So it's very life changing. It's very powerful. But one of the most powerful things I have ever encountered in my life. I've done countless amount of things because throughout my life, I've had a lot, a lot of anxiety, a lot of, if you want to say, depression, and so forth. It's not fun. I've had a lot of traumatizing experiences throughout my life. And who doesn't, right? Everybody does. Something that's holding you back, If you look at yourself and you think about yourself 5 years ago, or even 3 years, 2 years, last year, the common thing people say is that, man, I used to be, so fearless. I used to be so unstoppable. What happened to me? Well, 99% of the time is you have this emotional baggage that you're carrying that's not letting you free. If you're having trouble in relationships, you're wondering, why is no relationship working? What's wrong with me? And you keep playing this over and over in your mind. That creates guilt. It further bundles up the problem. And it's just certain things that you've been through. For example, I've shown this to a lot of people who have gone through infidelity in their relationships. They've been cheated on, or they've cheated on someone, and it's either the guilt or just the pain of not being able to trust another partner that is holding them back. This therapy can help you release that. And it's so fast. I've tried countless of things. I've spent countless amount of money researching things, because this has always been a drive for me. Just buying books, researching this, going to a class here, paying for this. I've went through broken glass, little by little, trying to find solutions. Out of all the solutions I found, this one is the most powerful. This one and another therapy, which I'll explain later. I'm not going to explain it here, but this is probably the most powerful one, because you feel it instantly. It's not something that, oh yeah, wait 2 weeks and then you'll see some sort of results. But it could take up to 6 weeks. No. You feel it. You feel it. There's been people who have, for example, there's a story I heard where this person went to Mexico, and he climbed the pyramids in Mexico. And this person kind of knew, but didn't realize exactly how big his fear of heights were. So he makes it up fine, but the way coming down, there's a problem. And he noticed that a lot of people actually had this problem as well. People were crying, getting down. They were on their bottoms, trying to get down little by little like that. People had a big fear. So he remembered this specific technique that I'm about to teach you guys. And he did it a couple of times. And boom, it went away. While everybody else was crying on their bottoms, trying to get down, some were, turning their backs and getting down, sort of like in a crawling way down the pyramid. He was going down like it was nothing. But he remember the story about the lady with the water. This doesn't makes you stupid, as far as you doing things without your conscience. That lady knew she couldn't swim. Although that fear was gone, she didn't want to head and jump in. And that's the remarkable thing, right? And once you start releasing certain traumas of your life and certain things, what you will start noticing is that this technique, you'll do it less and less. If you have a lot of baggage, yeah, you might do this several times a day. And it's recommended to do it specifically anytime you have a certain emotion, maybe you're driving a car and you had trauma with an accident, and whenever this feeling comes up, do the technique, and it will relieve yourself. But you can also go ahead and do what I did, and do what a lot of people who practice this therapy do. Get a little journal. Think about all the times that they bother you. Maybe you have a phobia of spiders. Maybe you have a fear of heights. You have a fear of flying, um, and so forth. And it works even, like I mentioned, with emotional trauma. So for those in our servicemen, in combat, write down all the things that about the specific combat that doesn't let you go. Maybe you had a bad relationship. Write that down, and then whenever you get a chance, focus little by little on each one. And then once you feel the relief, which you will feel the relief, scratch it off and go like that. It may take you a little bit, but it's well worth it. So here is the therapy. Okay, so there's, like I mentioned, there's different points in the body that are connected to certain actual organs in the body, certain parts of the body. For example, like I mentioned, this is specifically connected to your solar plexus. So it's a point of fear. So whenever you have fear out of nowhere, tap in there 10 times, 8 to 10 times, you know it's different. It's connected to solar plexus. Now there's different algorithms, specific algorithms that Rodger Callahan has discovered. And by the way, this therapy is called thought field therapy. Thought field therapy. So after this video, go and search it out. And there's actual practitioners as well. There's something you can choose as a career as well, where they teach you how to help other people with these type of problems, and their technology even supersedes that. They have a specific treatment called voice technology that you don't have to visit no place. You don't have to fly anywhere. Just by giving them a call to a TFT practitioner who practices voice technology, give them a call. They don't ask you what your problem is, why you feel fear. They know you already feel fear. They already know you're stressed. So why they have to ask you? They don't ask you questions. Everything's private. They call you. All they ask you is, what's your fear or what's your pain on a scale from 1 to 10? You tell them. And by hearing just your voice, because your voice tells a lot about you, just by hearing your voice, they've discovered that there's certain algorithms that they can go ahead and give you that will hit the problem at its root. So I'm going to teach you the basic sequence, but there's higher forms of this if you have deeper issues. But for 99% of the people, the simple technique takes care of it. There's nothing wrong with getting a treatment every now and then, either, especially if you have real deep issues, a lot of trauma, been through a lot, right? So they offer all of that, and if you just, if you feel like you just don't want to do the therapy by yourself, but you want to talk to someone, there's practitioners on there that don't use voice technology if you wish them not to, and just give you a basic sequence, and they'll ask you on a scale from 1 to 10, what is your problem? Hey, it's a 10. Okay, do these certain tapping sequences around your body. What's your level of pain now? Oh, it's a 7. Okay, do this part of the body. What's yours? Oh, it's a 4. Okay, do this right here. Oh, it's a 2. Okay, do this. It's gone. Okay, great. All right, if you need another session, just give me a call. Boom. And it's gone. This is something you can use anywhere, anytime. One of the most powerful breakthrough technologies I've ever encountered. I've known this for years. I've taught friends of mine for years. And they'll tell you how their life has dramatically changed. Before, I'm telling you, I before I discovered this, I was shy. I couldn't talk to another living being like a normal human being should. Relationships or bad. I never, picture myself being married. I never could picture myself with one woman. One woman. Right now, I don't have that issue. I don't feel like I need to meet countless of women or so forth. I used to drink, not excessively, but like I used to drink almost every weekend. Right? Every weekend, everybody does. Right now, I really don't. I do drink every now and then when I'm with friends and there's a celebration. But my friends will tell you I'm not a drinker. I'm not a drinking buddy. Right? So it's life changing. You can treat this with any phobia. So I'm gonna teach you. The video is getting way longer than I expected. So I'm just gonna teach you the basic sequence right now. Okay. You make your own research, but you can try this therapy right now, especially in these times where there's a lot of stress going on with this COVID-19. There's a lot of panic. There's a lot of, like I mentioned, a lot of fear going on. If you or one of your family members are going through this the hard way, my prayers go out to you. I hope this therapy can at least do some sort of relief. And don't be afraid to call these TFT practitioners if you need deeper help, okay? So the basic sequence is this. This is the side of the eyebrow. So you tap, I would say 10 times, 8 to 10 times. And you don't have to tap hard and give yourself a bump there. Just lightly. This is the side of the eye, right here. Side of the eye. This is under the eye. This is what we're talking about, the solar plexus. This is chin. This is under the nose. And this is the collarbone. So if you go like this and you'll feel your collarbone. Right in the middle where you see that little sunken little hole right here underneath your throat, right on the side of it. It could be on the left, on the right, whatever. Right there. There's a collarbone spot. You tap on there too. 8 to 10 times. Under the arm. So right where like your nipple is, go straight underneath your arm. That's the under the arm spot. Pinky. And you tap right on the, right here, right on the side. Just tap there. 8 to 10 times. Middle finger. The same thing. Right on the side right here. 8 to 10 times. And you could switch them. That really doesn't matter as long as you hit those points. Index, the same thing. Index finger, 8 to 10 times. Thumb, same thing right here, 8 to 10 times. And this right here is, they call it the karate chop point. This is so powerful right here. If you ever have doubts like, why do I always fall under pressure? Why do, people seem to go ahead and get ahead and I don't? If you have some sort of blockage in that, or why do I have this certain issue, or why can I get away from this? If you feel stuck in a certain part of your body, whenever you bring up those feelings and focus on this right here. This is called a reversal. So sometimes just a simple technique will relieve symptoms, but for you to take it all away, using this will reverse it. It's like releasing the sabotage that you have on yourself. And really, when you do this karate chop point, you say in your mind, or you can say it out loud, you say, I love and accept myself. You accept whatever flaw you have. If you always, if you're in a relationship and everything's going good and suddenly you just sabotage yourself, use this. Say, I completely forgive myself. I accept myself the way it is. You have to accept it before it can be released. So you do that. If you have trouble with money, why do I have trouble with money? Okay, whatever the situation is, whatever. I accept and love myself. I accept and love myself. Like that. And the reason you say these is because you want to focus that specific reversal that's sabotaging you. If you have trouble in sports, there's countless of people who are athletes, who are business people. They have trouble with money. They have trouble with this. Why can't I? Any sort of block that you feel that you're stuck, that the simple technique is not working, use this. Use this a lot. Okay. And then the next one is the most powerful one out of all of them. And this is what it's known, or it's called as the 9 gamut spot. The 9 gamut spot, because there's 9 specific frequencies of tappings that you will be doing. It may look a little weird, but this is the way that they have discovered that you can access that part of the brain to release that trauma, that emotion, whatever it is that you have, right? Okay. And okay, so you see right here where this finger meets this finger, the pinky, right in the middle, right here where you see that little soft spot right here. Okay, that's the 9 gamut spot. So what you're going to do is you're going to tap. You're going to put your face straight. You're going to close your eyes. Open your eyes. Look down to the right. Look down to the left without moving your head. And then you're going to swirl your eyes in a full circle. 1 to the right. 1 to the left. And then you're going to hum, because this activates the right part of the brain. So and it's just a little tune like, and then you're going to count from 1 to 10. 1 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you're going to hum again. That's the 9 gamut spot. So I'm going to do it now without talking about a specific point, so you can see how I do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the 9 gamut spot. Okay, it's weird. It looks weird, especially if you're doing it in front of other people. But at this point, don't care. And hey, if you're shy around other people, if you just do the tapping technique, and it takes it away. But the 9 gamut spot, what it does, it congruents your left and brain hemisphere of the brains. So it gets you like in an alpha state. What that does is it opens up those certain emotions that you may have stuck, that are hard to go ahead and be released. So both of your brain hemispheres are activated when you do this. That's why you hum. That's why you look down. Scientifically, it's been proven this activates both of the brain hemispheres instead of just one, like most of us go on throughout our day. So I hope this therapy helped you. I hope you share it with others. Like I mentioned, you can always reach out to the TFT practitioners if you need special treatment or so forth. They do charge. But to be honestly, for me, the other accounts of people I've done doing the basic sequence, I mean, this is not going to go away like in a day or two, right? You may have so much that you need to release. So, like I've seen people who do the technique when they start 25, 30 times a day. So anytime they feel this fear, or whenever they're focusing on their journal, and you write down anything you remember that has caused you pain in your past life. Maybe you were a kid and maybe you peed your pants. I don't know. People make fun of you. Maybe you're holding on to that pain. Maybe, you were cheated on and you feel that pain. Or maybe you cheated on someone and you feel guilty. So this takes it away as well. Maybe, you just had a rough childhood. You were always fighting in school and so forth, or maybe you were in gangs and so forth, and you have a lot of trauma that doesn't let you sleep at night, like the war heroes, right? This has a lot of success rate with veterans, people who've been in combat, people from around the world. There's TFT practitioners all around the world. And the good thing is, really, you don't have to go ahead and see them specifically. You can, but you don't have to go see them. If you want to get a personalized treatment with a TFT practitioner, just a phone call. Make a schedule an appointment, and over the phone. And you can choose this as a career as well. Become a TFT practitioner, and you can help countless of people, and you can make it as a business for yourself. Imagine, just as long as you have a cell phone. You could be wherever you could be at a restaurant, they give you a call. Oh, okay, you have treatment. You could do it there at the table, you go to the restroom or outside and talk to them, right? And it takes them more than 4 or 5 minutes. Oh, okay, when you feel bad again, just call them. So how good of a business or job is that to have, right? Helping people, and then it's like so short. It is life-changing technology, breakthrough technology. It focuses on the root cause of the issues. Like I'm saying, I have nothing against doctors or psychiatrists, nothing like that. This is just another tool you can use. Of course, this is not for everyone. I personally believe that any specific technique, any specific belief or whatever, is not for everyone. Everybody has a path. So this could be for you. Try it out. If it works, then it is for you. And I would suggest to take full advantage of it. So, but for the majority of people, this is a way out. You don't have to go and spend countless of thousands of dollars on certain other practices that are out there. I'll give you a good example. Scientology offers a similar procedure called auditing, where basically as they listen, they make you go over and over and over that traumatic experience that you may have. And what they've discovered is that through what they call an e-meter, they can sense those negative emotions, those sparks. So as you go over and over and over and start remembering more of that specific incident in detail, it goes away. And this is why they use that quote e-meter, because once the meter doesn't see a signal, that means that it's gone, right? But it's very costly, and it's very, very time consuming. Some of us just don't have that amount of time. It's a great tool, and there's countless of other tools out there. But this tool is the most powerful one, breakthrough, life-changing, that I've ever experienced. Because not only is it instantly, you can do it yourself, and if you need extra help, you can call someone on the phone. You don't have to go out and meet them. They don't ask you, what is your specific problem? Tell me about your problem. They know you have a problem. And through their teachings, or through their technology, they can just sense what your problem is by just the voice that you have. So take advantage of that. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like the video, comment, or subscribe. Really appreciate it.